Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Alexis scolds Rick after his unexpected visit, and Rocco overhears the last thing Drew wants him to. Today on General Hospital, Alexis, Molly, and Christina prepare for the funeral. Drew tries to keep the kids in the dark about Jason's beating, and Lucas continues to blame himself, and he's not alone. On today's General Hospital, Maxie is talking to Sam's photo during her funeral preparations, complaining that she isn't getting all of the flower arrangements correct. She then reminisces about her companion, just as Lucas enters and remarks that his sister would approve of the yellow flowers. He's behaving depressed, however, and Maxie wants to know what's up with him. He doesn't believe today would have occurred if he had not been Sam's surgeon. He should have known better. He knew better. He's determined to accept responsibility for what happened. After going over everything, all he can think of is that he made a mistake, but he couldn't figure out what. Maxie tries to reassure him that horrible things do happen. Furthermore, he's taking the easy route out of this by blaming himself. GH's Lucas looks sadly at Maxie moments before Sam's burial. Sam never made decisions based on sentiment, and she was never wrong. Lucas continues to say it was on him. I believe in Sam. She trusted you, now trust her. Taylor arrives at Trina and Jocelyn's, only to have the door shut in his face by Trina. She snaps at Joss for answering the door, but her roommate convinces her to give Kai a chance, especially because she does it for Ava. Jocelyn goes to prepare for Sam's burial, reminding Taylor that he owes her. Inside, he wants to make his case to Trina to give him another chance. He stammers out some apologies and explanations, saying he understands that art history is difficult, but he wants to learn about it and is willing to put in the effort. Would she simply turn away someone who came into the art gallery to learn? She'd chat to him, but it was a conversation, not a requirement for class. He begins by reviewing the syllabus, claiming he has an excellent memory and can be taught. GH's Trina clashes with Taylor in her apartment. Aiden picks up his mother at the hospital. She wants to talk with him about Lucky. They sit down, and she warns him that he may leave again. I understand, Mama. I kind of expected it. Lucky will undoubtedly return to Africa. The good news is that he is still alive and working to make things better. Elizabeth is astounded at how sweet and understanding their son is. Lucky is reading the news at Bobby's when Brennan sneaks in behind him, introducing himself as the man who saved your life. He describes how he helped with Lucky's extraction using the WSB. They exchange awkward niceties, and Lucky says he has till he finishes his coffee before Brennan tells him what he wants. Jack confesses he's impressed with Lucky's work. He also has a job waiting for him in the same place. He needs someone to gather information, and he'd be highly rewarded. Lucky claims he's not in it for the money, and working with the WSB always comes with conditions. GH's Brennan smiles cockily as he speaks to Lucky in Bobby's. A portion of the job will be assisting refugees, and Lucky and the WSB will have similar goals. If he wants the job, he can take a flight within the next 24 hours. Liz enters and locks eyes with Lucky. Drew is preparing for the burial at the mansion when the kids enter, and Scout demands to know what happened to his face. Drew tells them that he is fine, just embarrassed that he walked into a door. He tells Scout he's fine. She is concerned that he will betray his commitment to always be by his side, just like his mother did. He reassures her that Mama loves her, then inquires about the flowers she gathered from Lila's garden for her mother. Nina arrives and asks if Drew is well, then promises to try to make his bruises seem better. Unfortunately, the youngsters did not spot it in time. GH's Nina applies cosmetics to Drew's wounded face in the living room. Nina discovers Drew isn't bringing charges, determined not to separate Jason from his children. She's unhappy because Jason overreacted to a kiss. Unless Drew is hiding something else. He tells her, nothing. And he would prefer get through the day than file charges. Danny needs him, and Nina needs to let go. Sam basically implored the brothers to prioritize the kids over anything else. He will not let her down. Danny and Rocco return downstairs, neither believing Drew's story. But just now, all that matters is Scout's well-being. Danny goes to the burial to lay Scout's flowers and drawing on the casket, and Rocco pledges that no matter what, they are brothers. In the kitchen, Dante is looking at photos of the family and Sam and isn't having it when Cody tries to cheer him up by saying he has a wonderful family. Despite Sam's absence, the friendship remains. Cody admits that when he first arrived in town, he was and continues to be in awe of Dante and Sam. Dante isn't sure if he will ever feel anything other than grief. GH's Cody glances at a melancholy Dante while they converse in the kitchen. Cody tells him that he will not always feel this way, he only needs to give himself and the kids time. Eventually, it will be about recalling the happy times. He mentions the day Sam lost it on a softball ump, and Olivia steps in to support him. Dante smiles slightly as he recalls the narrative and ends it with Olivia. But then Cody adds something about Sam always coming out of terrible situations, and Dante drops again. He exits to check on the kids, and Olivia reassures Cody that he done nothing wrong. Dante is going to need him. Cody agrees to do whatever he can. As Alexis attempts to put on a bracelet, Christina and Molly enter, only for their mother to inform them she doesn't think she'll make it through the day. Molly proceeds to mend the bracelet while Alexis informs Christina that it is the last gift Sam gave her and she must wear it today. Molly returns as Christina remarks that it feels like just yesterday they were burying Adela. GH's Alexis and Christina converse on the couch while Molly goes into the kitchen in the background. Molly hands her mother the repaired bracelet, then uncomfortably tells them she has to get some air. Outside, Rick is waiting for her, and they hug. He gives her a belated birthday present, tickets to 12 Angry Men. She says they will go together. TJ arrives shortly after they hug. Inside, Christina claims she did not intend for Molly to hear her. They've been doing well lately, and Alexis regrets forgetting her daughter's birthday. Then she sees Rick outside and becomes much more unhappy. She rushes out to apologize to Molly for forgetting her birthday, thanks TJ for being there, and rants at her ex as Molly and TJ go inside to summon the minister. He reminds her that Molly is at the bottom of her priority list, and Alexis tells him to leave her property. Rick departs with a couple more nasty remarks. GH's Molly smiles as she opens an envelope with Rick outside Alexis' house. Inside, TJ apologizes for missing Molly's birthday and promises to do everything he can to help her. Just you being here is all I need today, she grumbles. Christina approaches, and before she can say anything, the sisters hug. In the show's concluding seconds, Taylor pledges he will never quit. He invites her to a game to see that, perhaps she just needs to give football a chance. General Hospital spoilers indicate that there has been a lot of sadness in Port Charles lately. Sam McCall's tragic death has surely created a sense of sadness around town, and her approaching burial will only add to the depressing atmosphere. Of course, there has been some severe strain at the Quartermaine estate. Jason Morgan brawled with Drew Quartermaine in the foyer, but Ned Quartermaine would undoubtedly like to see the family reunite. With Thanksgiving right around the bend, it's easy to envision Ned and Olivia Quartermaine enjoying this as a good break from the drama. Olivia and Ned may design the ideal Quartermaine gathering to lift everyone's spirits. Although Drew and Michael Corinthos may first seem friendly, putting them in the same room for a longer amount of time would be a major mistake. GH fans are well aware that the Quartermaine Thanksgiving meal is frequently disrupted, necessitating a special pizza delivery. Unfortunately, food may not be the only item spoiled this year. Michael might ruin the entire celebration if he uses this opportunity to reveal what Drew and Willow Corinthos did in the playroom. It's easy to see Willow and Drew sharing a tender moment at the party that sets Michael off. Michael may lose his rage, prompting Drew to apologize once more for kissing Willow. However, Drew may act as if Michael is overreacting to a casual kiss, which could aggravate Michael even more. Michael may eventually admit that he knows Drew and Willow did much more. Willow lied about their second kiss before hooking up with Drew upstairs in the Quartermaine playroom. Michael may advise Drew and Willow that they shouldn't bother denying it as he pulls out his phone to present the frightening video evidence. Naturally, Michael may get a touch too loud, alerting everyone to what was going on. the kids may be playing out of earshot, but now would be an excellent chance for Michael to reveal Willow and Drew's secret to all the adults assembled at the Quartermaine mansion. Thanksgiving could be a special one this year, depending on what Michael decides to spill and when. Michael also had sex with Sasha Gilmore Corbin, but he believes it would never have happened if Drew hadn't kicked off a chain reaction. Drew will bear the brunt of the blame when Michael finally vents his rage, possibly even decking him. Jason shouldn't be the only one who has the opportunity to bash into Drew like that, so we'll see if Michael gets his turn as well. According to General Hospital spoilers, Willow and Drew's playroom romp won't last forever, so stay tuned for predictions on the leaked news and updates on what happens next. Marcus Coloma hasn't played Nicholas Cassadine on General Hospital in quite some time. However, since leaving the program, the actor has continued to work on his web video series, which he co-created with former GH co-star Kin Shriner, as well as uploading different hilarious videos, many of which showcase his musical talents and wonderful comedic timing, which fans have grown to appreciate. Coloma just promoted his newest fan meet and greet, the New Jersey Christmas Party, and provided a humorous video of how he plans to get into character for it. The video shows Coloma coming out of bed, and as he sits up, you can see he's dressed like an elf for Christmas, complete with a shirt embellished with a Christmas tree and ornaments, ornamented suspenders, and Santa Claus socks up to his knees. He begins cleaning his teeth while the soft Christmas music plays, then dances around with the toothbrush hanging out of his mouth. It is the day that General Hospital fans and the Spencer family have been waiting for. Lulu Spencer finally awakens from her 4-year coma and discovers that life in Port Charles has continued without her. Alexa Havens, who previously portrayed Lulu on All My Children, will play her again. Julie Marie Berman and Emmy Rylan previously portrayed Lulu as adults. This is Havens' first return to soap operas after leaving the role of Babe Carey behind in 2011. While Havens did not anticipate to return to a full-time daytime television job, she is grateful for the opportunity. The writers have written some really fun things, Havens informed TV Insider. We know she's waking up from a 4-year coma, so we've got a lot of twists and turns, and we hit the ground running. Lulu will undoubtedly have a lot to process as she discovers what she has missed over the past 4 years. In addition to finding her children are now adolescents, she learns that Dante fell in love with Sam and that Sam saved her life by donating a portion of her liver so Lulu could survive. Havens is no stranger to playing the daughter of some of soap opera's most renowned and influential couples. After all, the names Luke and Laura are still associated with GH 43 years after their opulent wedding, which featured Elizabeth Taylor as an uninvited guest Helena Cassadine. Just being a part of that next Spencer family adventure feels very rewarding, Havens told me. To be a part of such a prominent family on the daylight canvas feels like an honor. I want to acknowledge what Jeannie, Francis, Laura, and Anthony, Gary, Luke, built by continuing the story and simply giving the public what they want as far as Lulu goes. Havens is looking forward to another perk of playing Lulu Spencer. She'll get to work with Michael E. Knight again. Knight is most known for his role as Tad Martin on All My Children. Havens met her husband, Justin Bruning, who portrayed Tad's son, Jamie, in the now-defunct serial. In 2024, Knight plays Martin Gray, Lulu's uncle. When Havens jokingly suggested that her husband join the GH cast, his first impulse was to reunite with Knight. I was trying to lure him in and I could see him kind of considering it, and then he was like, "But would I get to work with Michael Knight?" Havens explained to TV Insider. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute, forget me. I can see what my ranking is. I'm like, much below Mikey. But, who doesn't like Michael Knight? He's quite sweet. I'm excited, but we haven't met, we're connected now. Martin is Lulu's uncle, so we can play that. Lulu has a lot of catching up to do as she reclaims her former life. Maxie admired the flowers she chose for the funeral. She spoke to Sam's photo, explaining that she chose a yellow arrangement because it reminded her of Sam's yellow clothing at Brooklyn and Chase's funeral last spring. Lucas quickly arrived and informed Maxie that he believed Sam would approve. Maxie attempted to persuade Lucas to open up and chat. If I hadn't been Sam's surgeon, this day wouldn't be happening, Lucas joked. Maxie reminded him that Sam had requested that he conduct the procedure. I'm aware that operating a loved one is never a good decision. The stakes are too high for surgeons to take that chance. Sam is gone, and I'm the only one who makes sense to blame, Lucas explained. Lucas was convinced he had made a mistake during the procedure, but he couldn't figure out what it was. Maxie assured Lucas she would not let him blame himself for what happened to Sam. Scout, Danny, and Rocco noticed Drew's face was bloody and bruised in the quartermain foyer and inquired as to what happened. Drew assured Scout that he was okay and felt better than his appearance suggested. Drew lied to the kids, telling them he had walked into a door. Drew assured Scout when they were alone that he was all right. Scout informed him that he needed to maintain his vow to always be there for her. Mom broke hers, Scout lamented. Drew reminded Scout that her mother loved her. I know Mommy loved me, but you still need to keep your promise and stay with me, she said. Drew promised he would. When Nina came, Drew begged her to assist him make his face more presentable. I can make it look not great, but at least better, Nina reported. Drew assured Nina that he would not seek charges against Jason because he promised Sam that he and Jason would be there for the kids. Nina questioned if Jason attacked Drew solely because of one kiss with Willow. Or is there something you're not telling me? Nina inquired. Drew lied, telling her no. Nina finished repairing Drew's face, and Rocco overheard her say, "Nobody will ever know Jason touched you." In the kitchen, Dante flipped through images of his life with Sam. Cody entered the room and commented on how attractive Dante, Sam, and their children were. Dante questioned whether he still had a family without Sam. Cody pointed out that family relationships do not disintegrate simply because one person dies. Cody envied Dante when he initially arrived in Port Charles. When Cody was still running scams, Dante had a career and a woman he cared about. I was amazed by you and Sam. Cody stated, I've never seen two people support each other like that. Dante maintained that Sam made their connection possible. Dante acknowledged that his anguish was overwhelming and that he was afraid it would destroy him. Cody reassured Dante that the children loved and trusted him and that he could keep his family together without Sam. Alexis broke the clasp while attempting to put on a bracelet, telling Molly and Christina she wasn't sure she'd make it through the day. She felt compelled to wear the bracelet because it was the final gift Sam had given her for Mother's Day. It feels like just yesterday when we were getting ready to bury Adela, Christina stated as Molly re-entered the room. Alexis braced herself for turmoil, but Molly maintained her composure. She had even mended Alexis' jewelry. Molly stepped outdoors and saw Rick standing there. She ran into her father's arms for a hug. As a late birthday present, Rick gave Molly tickets to a production of 12 Angry Men. After Molly thanked Rick, TJ appeared. Back at home, Christina remarked that she had given Molly a necklace for her birthday. Alexis abruptly realized she had forgotten her youngest daughter's birthday. When Alexis peeked out the window and saw Rick, she was enraged. Alexis came outside and wanted to talk with Rick alone. Rick confronted Alexis for ignoring Molly's birthday. Alexis begged Rick to leave her property so that she could mourn Sam without him. When you're done doing that, remember that your youngest daughter is still very much alive, Rick snarled, storming off. In the living room, TJ apologized to Molly for missing her birthday. He said that he had purchased her a gift, but it was at home. Molly told TJ that everything was fine and she wasn't angry. Just you being here is all I need today, Molly replied. She hugged Christina as Alexis passed through the door. Alexis held her children's hands and informed them that it was time to leave for the funeral. At the church, Danny placed scouts drawing on Sam's casket. Danny reacted angrily when he saw Lucas enter. You are not permitted to be here. You're the one who let my mother die, Danny cried as Lucas fled the church. Jocelyn opened the front door to see Kai standing there, hoping to see Trina. He wanted to know if Trina would talk to him. Trina swiftly responded by slamming the door in Kai's face. Kai continued to knock as Jocelyn and Trina argued inside. Trina was upset that Jocelyn had opened the door. Jocelyn persuaded Trina to allow Kai a few minutes to explain himself. Trina let Kai in and listened. She was not pleased when he told her that his counselors had enrolled him in an art class since they thought it would be simple. Anyone who appreciates art like I do would consider that an insult. I take art very seriously, and I refuse to collaborate with someone whose priorities do not align with mine, Trina stated. Kai insisted that he wanted to learn about painting and would do his part. Trina answered that she was very busy with school and her profession, so Kai inquired whether she would turn someone away at the gallery if they simply wanted to learn about art. Kai demonstrated that he knew more about art history than Trina suspected. She eventually agreed to keep him as her project partner. Elizabeth was astonished to see Aiden as she prepared to leave the nurse's station. He grabbed a rideshare to see if Liz would allow him drive her home and practice behind the wheel. Elizabeth informed Aiden she needed to speak with him about something, and he knew it had to be about Lucky. I wanted to prepare you for the possibility that your dad would be leaving town again, she told you. Aiden stated that he had very much expected it. Aiden was relieved that his father was still alive, while Danny and Scout had lost their mother. Lucky sat alone at Bobby's until Brennan joined him. Brennan identified himself as the WSB agent who had saved his life in Africa. Brennan informed Lucky that he was impressed with his efforts in Africa and had an opportunity for him. He asked him to handle a situation in the same part of Africa Lucky had just returned from. I need boots on the ground to gather intel, Brennan explained. Brennan offered Lucky a flight out of Port Charles within 24 hours after accepting the job. Seeing Elizabeth step in gave Lucky pause for thought. After Brennan left, Lucky approached Elizabeth and informed her that Brennan had given him a position in Africa. General Hospital spoilers for Friday, November 15 state that Anna Devane discussed Robert Scorpio's leave of absence with Felicia Scorpio. Anna felt terrible because she had instructed Holly Sutton to say goodbye to Robert, and Robert was presumably off attempting to help her cope with all of her serious issues. Although Anna believed Robert was setting himself up for heartbreak, Felicia remained optimistic. Felicia also predicted Robert would return to bond with Sasha Gilmore Corbin. Meanwhile, Felicia intimated that Sasha would discover what it meant to have a family and come to know the other Scorpio clan members better. Next, Lucky Spencer sparred with Sonny Corinthos in the boxing ring and acknowledged to being conflicted. Lucky felt horrible about abandoning his loved ones again, but he also felt restless and unfulfilled in Port Charles. Sonny offered to locate Lucky a genuine employment if he stayed, but he insisted that Lucky do what was best for himself. Later, Sonny made a phone call that appeared to set something in motion for Lucky. At GH, Elizabeth Baldwin delivered Jordan Ashford good news about Lulu Spencer's recuperation and praised Isaiah Gannon for carrying out her share of the transplant. In Terry Randolph's office, she astonished Isaiah by offering him a real job at the hospital. Terry handed out some material and encouraged Isaiah to consider working as a surgeon at GH. Terry then updated Liz on her offer to Isaiah and discovered that Lucky was already considering quitting PC again. Elizabeth was mostly upset with herself for believing she could have a true co-parent and that they could be a family. Liz basically realized that this limbo wasn't fair to her or Aiden Weber and resolved to simply tell Lucky to go. As Jason was watching Drew's acceptance speech at the Brown Dog, Michael strolled in and offered to pay the bartender to turn it off. Jason was perplexed and told Michael that he suspected Michael and Drew were close. "We were until he started kissing my wife," Michael explained. Jason was taken aback by the news and inquired whether Michael and Willow were experiencing problems. Michael described how he discovered Drew and Willow had kissed, went immediately to the Brown Dog, and ran into Sasha. "I slept with Sasha, so now I made everything worse, and now I think my marriage is over," Michael told me. Michael explained that he and Willow were constantly lying to one another and did not trust each other. He still wished his marriage to succeed, but he didn't believe it was possible. "We both slept with other people," Michael explained. Jason called Michael back up because he thought Drew and Willow had kissed. "That's what they admitted, but I discovered that Willow and Drew are sleeping together. What if Willow is in love with Drew?" Michael asked. Michael never thought Willow could be unfaithful, but he admitted he was a hypocrite because he had slept with Sasha. Jason suggested Michael listen to Willow. "I'm afraid she'd say there's no future for us," Michael sighed. Spinelli arrived after Michael had left to provide an update on Jason's quest for Valentine. Jason believed they should focus on Brennan. Spinelli lamented that Sam would be ideal for this role. Jason then sought counsel from Spinelli, his father. Jason indicated that Danny wants to live with him while remaining with Scout and Rocco. Neither Danny nor Spinelli understood how that would work. Jason wanted to be there for Danny, but he was unsure whether he should live with the other kids. Spinelli knew it would hurt Jason, but Jason didn't care. "I'm not worried about myself. I just need to protect the people I care about," Jason remarked. Nina watched Drew's acceptance speech from backstage before congratulating the convicted criminal New York billionaire on his recent federal election victory. As Drew and Nina embraced, Carly appeared and gave her own congratulations, unaware that Brennan was immediately behind her. Carly was relieved that America will have an honest man in Washington. Carly then introduced Brennan and Drew. Later, Brennan speculated that Drew may have used Carly as a political stepping stone when they were involved last year. Carly was immediately outraged, reminding Brennan that Drew had gone to prison to save her. Drew never imagined he'd go to prison. He expected to get a slap on the wrist. "So, maybe it wasn't the enormous heroic sacrifice you thought it was," Brennan admitted candidly. Carly wondered if this meant Drew was using her. Brennan asked Carly the same thing. While Carly and Drew caught up, Nina discovered Willow in the ladies' room. Nina mentioned that Drew would be a wonderful congressman far away in D.C. Maxie later found Nina and inquired if she had told Willow she was sleeping with Drew. Nina didn't believe it was necessary because Willow had informed her that there was nothing going on between her and Drew. Nina also believed that, despite his weaknesses, Drew would be a great congressman. Maxie begged to differ. "Flaws?" "Drew made out with his nephew's bride and then slept with her mother," Maxie exclaimed incredulously. When Nina made excuses for Drew, claiming that many politicians had indiscretions, Maxie realized she was still sleeping with him. Maxie told Nina that she did not want to watch her become wounded. "Drew cannot hurt me." "I don't care enough," Nina stated. Maxie clarified that she wasn't referring to Drew hurting Nina. She was worried that Willow might. Willow and Drew eventually met eyes. Drew credited Willow with his victory. "You are the one who encouraged me to run. You believed in me to be better, to do better," Willow added. Curtis and Portia savored the appetizers and celebrated the fact that Curtis would now be in control at Aurora. Unfortunately, Drew did not think the same way. When Michael arrived at the celebration, Drew invited him to become Aurora's new CEO. Willow interrupted them before Michael could answer. Michael approached Willow and asked to meet her at home. Michael returned to the gatehouse and informed Willow he needed to chat. Meanwhile, Nina and Drew returned to the main home. When they opened the door, they discovered an irate Jason standing there. Lois cornered Ned in the Quartermain living room and inquired why he and everyone else in the house were avoiding her. "Something is going on in this house, and you're not moving until you tell me what it is," said Lois. Ned admitted that something had happened, but refused to reveal what. So Lois turned to Brooklyn and demanded that she spill, as Ned mouthed no at his daughter. Brooklyn admitted she knew the secret, but she refused to tell Lois because Lois couldn't keep a secret. Ned recalls Lois telling Sonny earlier this year that Nina had turned Drew and Carly into the SEC. Gio presented Sasha with a newly arriving package in the Q kitchen. Chase attempted to stop her from opening it, but she did so anyway. Chase was shocked when he discovered the gift contained a guide for first-time fathers. Sasha was ecstatic to learn that Brooklyn and Chase were trying to conceive. As Sasha and Chase caught up, Chase admitted that he couldn't stop thinking about being a father, while Sasha regretted Holly's departure and the loss of Cody. Chase acknowledged Robert's leave of absence. Sasha was already aware because he had skipped town with my mother. Sasha was relieved Robert would be gone for a long since it would give her time to adjust to the thought of his being her father. "It's comforting to know that I am not alone in the world. I never anticipated to have a father. I'm not even sure what that is meant to look like." Brooklyn soon came and noticed Chase's fatherhood book on the counter. He admitted that Sasha knew they were trying to conceive a baby. Sasha swore to keep the news a secret. Sonny and Maxie spent some time alone in Maxie's office, discussing Christina's accident. Natalia stated that she had an accident a few years ago while inattentive. Christina's accident prompted Natalia to ponder and conclude that she should have done better for her children. When Natalia saw Christina and Sunny together, she realized she was an overbearing parent. If I'd gotten a call that Ali was in an accident, I'd rushed in. I would have taken control and concentrated on all of her minor injuries. I would not have observed my daughter's emotional agony. Alexis tried to concentrate on work but couldn't keep her gaze away from a photo of herself and her girls on her desk. Christina soon emerged and inquired if Alexis was okay before revealing her that she had been in a minor accident the night before. She didn't want to burden Alexis with the news while she was mourning Sam. Christina said that Sunny had returned her to his home, which infuriated Alexis because Christina informed her father about the accident rather than her mother. Christina was only telling Alexis the truth now because Sunny had asked her to. Alexis could see Christina needed to talk, but she declined. After Alexis persisted, Christina admitted to thinking about Danny and Scout. She also had a significant question: why did I live and Sam die? Christina asked. Christina felt that no one counted on her in the same manner as they did Sam. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.